Let me congratulate the Grantmakers in the Arts, Executive Director Janet Brown, Conference Chair Janet Rodriguez, for bringing your national conference right here to the Republic of Brooklyn. I have one question. What took you so long? This is the big stage. You'll get an idea in the next few days. This is the big stage. Believe me, if you can't find it here, it doesn't exist. I can assure you. And you don't believe half of what I hear. I got to tell you something. This is the perfect setting for what I'm told is the biggest conference in the history of Grantmakers in the arts, and I'm delighted about that. When we talk about the arts in Brooklyn, we're not just talking about painters and performers. Obviously, we're also talking about patrons of the arts, and that's most important, folks. Brooklyn is New York's preferred destination for arts and culture. This hotel, in fact, is on the edge of what we call the BAM Cultural District, anchored by the world-famous Brooklyn Academy of Music and featuring organizations such as the Irondale Ensemble Project. You ought to see what they did to this church space. You would not believe it. I hope you get a chance to go over there. The nationally celebrated Mark Morris Dance Group. And if you've never met Mark Morris, I love this guy. Love him. And we even got a renowned contemporary glass center. And that, you know, art is in every form. It's called Urban Glass. 80 Arts provide subsidized office space for nearly 24 organizations, including Mokata and Bomb Magazine. And coming soon, Shakespeare Theater for a new audience. Home will be right here in Brooklyn. And of course, nearby you'll also find the folks at Brooklyn Ballet. You travel into the heart of Brooklyn, you'll find some of Brooklyn's most revered institutions, including the Brooklyn Children's Museum, by the way, America's first children's museum and the oldest children's museum, and recently renovated a beautiful new building, and I hope you get a chance to go. I think the most beautiful gardens in the country, the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, and the second largest art museum in this city. It's not in Manhattan, it's in Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Museum. Some of the greatest cultural leaders in America are overseeing Brooklyn institutions. I don't have to mention them by name, and I'm sure you know who they are. And every day, more art groups decide to make Brooklyn their home. In fact, just a few months ago, the New York Foundation for the Arts relocated to the Dumbo neighborhood not far from this location. After more than 25 years in Soho, in the outer borough of that island called Manhattan, they found the promised land. At one time, Soho was the undisputed center for art galleries in the city, but the foundation said that one of the main reasons it made the move to Brooklyn is because it was clear that Brooklyn was where the arts were thriving the most. Oh, we have an old saying in Brooklyn, how sweet it is. They could see it with their own eyes. The majority of artists who were receiving fellowships from the foundations had made Brooklyn their home, too. And believe me, we welcome them all, because any place where artists want to live today is a place where you either want to live tomorrow or you can't afford to live tomorrow. One way or the other. I have to tell you, it is true. You know it's true. But look at Williamsburg, home of thousands of cutting-edge musicians and artists and performers. Park Slope, where I live, you can't walk down the street without bumping into some of this country's great literary elites, writers like Paul Auster and Gloria Naylor. Red Hook, Bed-Stuy, Fort Greene, Clinton Hill. There isn't an area in Brooklyn that isn't overflowing with artistic talent. Every time there's any sort of arts-related festival, such as the Art Under the Bridge, sponsored by the Dumbo Arts Center, the Brooklyn Waterfront Artists Coalition in Red Hook, the Brooklyn Book Festival that Liz and I and my office work on. Over 35,000 people attend each year, with more than 200 authors that come down here from Brooklyn, New York, and around the country. The largest cultural parade in the country, you may think it's the parade out in California, but the truth is it's the West Indian Carnival Parade that draws the greatest crowds, over 2 million people that attend each year. Our wonderful concerts in Prospect Park celebrate Brooklyn, or the concerts that I produce. I wear a white dinner jacket. I mean, I know you could tell I'm kind of introverted and shy, but I break out of that and host what I think are the greatest shows that we have free of charge. That's the best part of it. And some of the funders might be here, by the way. Thank you. And our Martin Luther King concert series, the largest African-American free concert series in this nation, in the heart of Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights. Thousands of people make the trip to Brooklyn. They eat in our restaurants, support our small businesses, and quite a few of them move here, and that's important. In fact, I hope after you're here for a few days that maybe you too will decide this is where you should live, and we'll welcome you with open arms. I want you to know that. While you're here at the conference, I hope you have the chance to experience some of the rich tapestry that Brooklyn has to offer, the art, but to me also the art is food. Oh boy, I'll tell you something. Whether it's the greatest cheesecake at Junior's, you're going to love it. And I also recommend their brisket sandwiches and pastrami and corned beef. But we also have the greatest hot dogs in America. I know some of you are from other places. You'll dispute me. But Nathan hot dogs are certainly among the very finest in America. And incidentally, Brooklyn is known for pizza. We've got real pizza. Now, we may pronounce it crazy, because in Brooklyn, we speak Brooklynese, and that's the King's English. Brooklyn is Kings County, so my diction is the King's English. It's Kings County, naturally. Now, we say pizza. Now, there's no R at the end of pizza. You understand that. But we pronounce it pizza, a lot of us. And we say mother rather than mother. So we just drop R's and add R's, whatever. But other than that, I think you'll enjoy it. We have America's best red velvet cake. If you're into that, as I am, Cake Man Raven, it's #1. And so many other great ethnic foods that you'll really, really enjoy while you're here. Now, the best art is a type that makes us notice something new each time we experience it. That's why, for me, Brooklyn is itself a work of art, big time. A place of boundless creativity, a broad canvas that provides room for Brooklynites of all stripes to leave their mark. This is the place to make it. I'm thrilled that you chose to hold your conference right here in Brooklyn. And if I may, Janet, may I make this presentation ever so briefly to you? On behalf of all of us in Brooklyn, almost 2.6 million now. If I can, to declare this day Grantmakers in the Arts National Conference Celebration Day in Brooklyn, USA. Manja Essek.